If you love to show your WVU school spirit with the latest fashion and styles, and with a wide selection of WV merch, check out the Book Exchange at bookexchangewv.com or in-store on the downtown and Evansdale campuses in Morgantown. Save 25% off your order with promo code BX4 Final Four. Recorded live in Morgantown, West by God, Virginia, and across the world, with your hosts, Kevin Jones, Deshaun Butler, John Flowers, and our lovely co-host, Ashley. This is the Final Fourcast podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Final Fourcast featuring me, one of your co-hosts, Kevin Jones. Got my boy Deshaun Butler with me.
What's going on?
My boy John Flowers in the building.
Yep.
Got our lovely co-host Ashley.
That's me.
And our producer Dave, who constantly keeps fucking up. So he's about to be fired soon. Proving everybody right, Dave. Proving everybody right.
Started the episode and he has one job to press record and he didn't do it.
That's me.
Perfect.
That was a good one. So I know we all got like a little hangover from the TBT and all that. How y'all feeling right now?
Crickets.
Oh, crickets still. Crickets. Give me something. Give me something to work with.
You can see if anybody can see the look on Deshaun's face right now. It is the look of utter pissed offness.
We got a lot of things going on.
I'm hot.
Yeah.
What's still supposed to be playing in this tournament for real?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
That's a fact. That team wasn't better than us at all.
No.
Really was.
So what happened? I mean, let's talk about it. Like, what do you guys think happened in that game? What went wrong?
Did you watch the game?
I did not watch it. No.
Wow.
Ash.
I'm sorry. I got to bed at like freaking 8:30. Like, I wasn't awake.
Which is why I was angry. That's one of the reasons I was angry.
Yeah, late.
It's because we're hosting something, and obviously you get an opportunity to see what it looks like. The second game we played at 9. And we didn't we kept our fans there, but the main thing was because like Marshall heard that play right before us. So their fans were there and some of our fans were there. And then you get to our game and our fans were there, but it's 9:00, like during the middle of the week.
Exactly.
People have to work. So like, why do you keep putting these games at 9 p.m.? And then how everything was taken care of during the game. And I was pissed. I wasn't too happy. Kind of felt like it was some shit to that, but that's just me though. It definitely was disappointing we didn't win the game. No. So for sure,
we don't got to keep it basketball.
Very.
John said we don't have to. We just let's go into it.
Very disappointed in that whole scenario.
Get it all out.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was like how many teams packed into one hotel. I ain't really like that. Like, but it was a cool experience though. It felt like AAU again. You know what I mean? But like you said, it was some things they could have did better for sure. And Dave will tell them about themselves later when they ask, I guess.
Like getting back to the game, like you said, Dave, I just feel like we made a lot of mistakes at the end. Every time we made a mistake, they capitalized off of it. Every time we turned the ball over or took a bad shot, they came down and scored. And I think that's what it came down to. They made the winning plays at the end of the day, whether we thought that they were a better team than us or not. That's usually a team that's going to win, is the team that makes the better plays when it's time to, and we just didn't for whatever reason. So it is what it is. Yeah, I'm sick too.
What do you like? How do I want to phrase this? As far as like the team's concerned, what do you think like the problem was? Was it because it was such a late game? Do you think it's because people weren't focused? I mean, like, what is it? Or just weren't gelling that game? Like, what happened?
Honestly, I just like watching the game. Like, I watched it yesterday, last night. Just watching it again. Our energy was like amazing in the first quarter, and then it tapered off in the second quarter defensively. And then, in that second quarter, they scored 27 points. Ooh. And then both games we played, like No team scored over 29 points. Now, granted, those teams weren't the same caliber team this team we played was, but at the same time, we couldn't give up 27 points. And then the first two games, we gave up 29 at the half and then 22 at the half. So, I mean, they came out in the second quarter and just shot the ball lights out and just made the right plays. So I gave them the lead. So when we come back out in the third quarter with that same fight like we had in the first quarter, it was a great effort, but we had to make up for that second quarter. And then I kind of felt like we got a little bit, I just felt like it tapered off toward the end and they started to pick up. They had guys that didn't play the entire first half that came in and played in the second half. They were fresh. They played like it. And it made plays, like Kevin said, when we didn't make certain plays offensively, they came down and made plays during the end of the stretch of that game. And I mean, the ball falls that way, especially when you have to make up for certain things that happen in the game. Mm-hmm. So, like, when we leave it the decision to, referees and then we're not making certain plays here and there late in the game, like, it all came together and we ended up not walking away with the game, so.
Well, even with all that Deshaun just said, like we had a bad second quarter or whatever, we still were up 8 with like 2 minutes to go until the Elam ending. It was up 8, and I think the ref made like a charge call on Jamel at like the 3-point line or something like that. That's a game changing bucket right there. You know what I'm saying? That would have put us up 10. Mm-hmm. But I love to count his calls, by the way. Yeah, the rest is a totally different story. Like, I talked to him after the game.
Oh, was it bad?
I love to count your calls.
It was bad.
The one guy was really bad, but the other two did a great job of sticking up for him. So, did a great job.
Refs, dude.
Like you said, though, we couldn't leave it up to the refs, but we was up 8 going with 2 minutes left, and basically, and for whatever reason, somehow we let that lead slip. You know what I mean? And that in 2 minutes. So that can't happen, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I just don't know.
No.
Yo, let's talk about the after party after the
shout
game.
out to
felt bad that one guy was destroyed. Poor guy. Bro, I missed half of that and they got him down the stairs really quick because it was about to be. Everybody was looking for somebody to unleash all that anger on at that point. I felt bad.
What?
Are you talking about the
happened?
guy that yelled at the bar staff?
The guy, he yelled at the bar staff. He was like disrespecting like Logan's girl and like Chase's wife. Like, it was a whole ordeal. And then they got him out of there. Like, it was like he got down the stairs really quickly because a lot of I never seen so many people stand up to walk one man outside. It was literally like 40 people upstairs. Like, what happened? What'd you say? And then everybody just walked him downstairs, and they got him out of the bar really quickly because it would have been bad.
Tavon was ready to go.
Like, it was a lot of.
Everybody was ready. I was ready to go.
That's why I said we just lost that game. Everybody was angry, and he would have been right in the middle of. Poor guy.
Yeah, we
shout out to Logan and Chase because it couldn't have been my wife.
Nah, that would have been a hell of a. It would have been a hell of a game for him.
What did he say? What did he say to them?
I wasn't even over there.
To their girls.
I don't know.
I don't know what he called the girls. I don't know what he called the girls, but I know he called our incredible server a fat, ugly bitch or a fat bitch or something like that.
Yeah, she was super nice. Poor lady.
Oh, hell to the nah.
She was super nice.
Oh, nah.
Poor lady.
And then he tried to get back there and apparently serve his own drinks after she said no and stuff like that. Like,
what a tool bag.
Yeah, he almost. Yeah, it was a bad move on his part. It would have got bad. It would have been even worse if he stuck around a little bit longer, though. He made the right move. He got down the stairs.
I don't think I could have even been over there while he was saying that shit. I probably would have smacked the hell out of him. The way I was feeling that night, bro, I was so hot, bro.
Bro, I didn't even hear anything of what happened. I was like talking to Jawan, and I heard somebody say, "What the fuck you said?" And I think it might have been like Tallman or one of the. And I had a bottle in my hand. I just flipped it. I didn't know what the fuck. Jawan stood up and he's like, "Hey, I just saw you flip the bottle." I was like, I wasn't even flipping the bottle. I hurt anybody. I just had it in my hand. Like, but I was
just this is a just in case situation. I don't know what's happening.
It cost me or something. I didn't know. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with it. I sat down. I was like, good. I was like,
that's what happened. Like, we heard just like Barty yelling, and everybody just stood up. Like, what's going? Like, I think it was Nate was like yelling at him. He was telling Nate to like come outside.
It went from like 2 to like 10 in a heartbeat, and I didn't even know what the fuck happened. I stood up. I was just like, "All right, cool, no problems, we're good."
Yeah. He didn't think that everybody was with Nate. I guess he thought Nate was by his side. He didn't know what was going on.
He didn't know what was going on. He came up to the upstairs room where everybody there is together. I had nobody
Clearly.
walking in a lion's den and pushing a lion. Yeah, fuck it. He didn't read the room well at all. He had a few too many early, guaranteed.
Wow.
In that situation.
A sober man would have done that room perfectly.
Despite the fact that you all were together, for a grown man to act like such a dick to anybody, regardless, and especially to women, like, hell no, man.
No, she was super nice, bro. She took like 100 orders.
The lady was super nice too. Like she was super nice.
She took 100 orders of food.
Yeah.
Took all these damn drink orders. She did all that stuff, and I just wonder what happens after you say that. Like, what do you think happens then? Does she make more drinks? Like, I'm confused. Like when you
right
when you jump into that bag, what did you think? Would you feel better now? Because now you can't drink, and then after it almost got destroyed by like 150 people. It would have been a bad day for him.
Well, honestly, the minute he said that to the waitress, like,
Security came over.
Management or whoever should have been like, okay, dude, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, regardless.
No, they got him out of here.
Harass an employee.
Nah, they kept the kitchen open for us. Like, that room was specifically for us. So it was just her back there and us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no, like, bouncer or anything.
They came upstairs and got him out of there really quickly, though, because I'm sure they heard the yelling, too. They just came up. They was like, oh, whoa, yo, you got to go.
Yeah. So you guys, you were all up there together, and like that room was there for you. So where did this guy even come from?
It was just the upstairs section. Like they set the room up, but it wasn't anybody like blocking it off or anything like that. So like, if you wanted to come up, you came up, but it kind of like we just lost the game, so it was just the group, upstairs.
Right.
Anyways, back to the game.
Nothing would happen.
What y'all think about the the Elam ending and stuff? I think like if we didn't have the Elam ending, we would beat each team by like 15.
Right. I said for those of us that aren't familiar, what does that mean? What is the Elam ending? Like, what does that mean?
Well, Ash, if you would have tuned in and supported the Final Fourcast, you would know that the Elam ending is basically like a target score after 4 minutes. When it's 4 minutes left in the game, the clock turns off, and then you have to get 8 more points from whichever team is leading. So it's like a target score that you have to reach. So if we have 70, the target score is 78. And the first team to reach 78 wins the game.
Got you.
What is it? What do y'all think it is about, like, because every time I felt, even each game, we struggled at the beginning of the Elam ending. We were fine the whole game, and then once the Elam ending started,
we were fine. It was the first and the third, to tell you the truth.
I don't know.
Second game we were fine, and I felt the second game we were fine because we got them into foul trouble before the Elam ending started. So then it put the entire pressure on them. But the first and the third game, even though we were up, like both teams went on a run leading into the Elam ending. And even though we had the lead, it still puts the pressure on us in the sense when they're on a hot streak or a hot run, like they both were. Mm-hmm. So I thought.
Is there a reason why the TBT doesn't follow like standard basketball? Like, why do they do?
It's more interesting.
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I think it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, especially like because it takes. I guess it's not high school, so you can't just like stall clock all the fucking time or anything like that. But at the same time, like John's point, like if we were playing these teams and we had like the clock, the game would have been over. We would have won those games. But like I like this aspect because it reminds me of we'll play the game the right way the entire way, obviously, and we get to these last 4 minutes and it's like similar to like open gym almost.
Okay.
And it's like
you can't prepare like it's a regular game. You got to prepare like it's a TBT. Like you can't. Go in there like over prepared about like the X's and O's about what we're gonna do when this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Just play, like just get a bucket. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think we did that too much instead of just playing. Honestly,
with the Elam, I was gonna say with the Elam ending, do you think the best team usually wins, or do you think what do y'all think about that? Because I don't think with that ending. I don't think the best team always wins in that scenario.
No, the best team doesn't always win. I just feel like the the team that's under the most control and takes care of the possession wins. Like, because it just turns into a possession game at that point. You're playing for that possession. Now, if you get to the point where, like, for us, like John just said, it was like 70 and we're going to 78 and the other team has 65 and they literally just execute possession to possession and our team comes down and maybe does some crazy 2 or 3 possessions, then we can get tight. And it just changes the aspect of the game a little bit. So I kind of feel like in our last game and maybe even the first game, even though we won it, we just didn't manage the possessions accurately. Like we didn't do it. We weren't as concise with what we're doing. I feel like it's like one of those situations where you need like solid plays that are going to give you a legit basket, and you got to come down and like play great defense for 3 or 4 possessions.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we needed solid plays. Like, we just had to fucking hoop. Like, just hoop. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they did. They came down, got a switch, fucking ISO'd and shot threes and ended that shit quick. You know what I mean? It wasn't no execution or none of that shit, bro. They was just hooping.
But they did. They did go out there and hoop. But we're talking about them coming off a ball screen, boom, boom, finding a mismatch, boom, and then going playing that way, which is something we were trying to do for a smidge too. And then also like we missed shots, so it made it easier for them. So they got the stops. So as opposed to like coming down and saying, all right, cool, well, we're about to win, let me like hoist up a shot because we're up, like, or rush a quick shot. I felt like we had a bunch of rush quick shots in all of our games when we got to Elam. And like to Kevin was saying, he's like, when we got to Elam, sometimes we just lost our mind because like either we were up a little bit and it was like, all right, cool, like I want to win. It looked like it was like I want to win the game or I want to win, and it's not the case, obviously, but it's just like it looked like that with quick rush shots. And if I look at that team, they came off of ball screens, like you said, found somebody who has the mismatch, go to that person with the mismatch. And I mean, that's a little bit more of a plan than just coming down the court and then just hoisting that motherfucker.
Right.
Then at the same time, though, Elam, you got to score and get stops, like you said. So you should have your best defensive team and a couple of people that you know are going to get buckets, like that can score at any given time, bro. To me, Jamel Moore should have been in the game for sure. Like he's one of our best scorers on the team. He lacks in defense a little bit, which I get. You know what I'm saying? I should have been in the Elam for sure. That shit killed me just being on the sideline for $1 million fucking dollars for the whole last 8 points of the game. That shit killed me. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I did not know that you weren't in the game. Like everything was happening so quick. I did not realize you weren't in the game. That's crazy.
That shit was crazy.
When you told me that.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy, bro. That shit killed me, bro. Coach Butler didn't.
No, listen,
you give Coach Butler a job as a GM, and this is
man. We were all over there. We were all over there talking about people being in the game. It's the beauty of when you have a staff in general. It's just like, all right, what do you think we should do? All right, we should do this. All right, what do you think we should do? All right, we should do this. All right, what do you think we should do? We should do this. And then finding which one you think fits. And at the end of the game, I mean, shit, James even said it in the press conference. It's like there was a lot more I could have did that I didn't do, and I had other people I could have put out there I didn't put out there.
It's a lot that everybody could have did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it's not,
sure.
you can't just put it on fans.
That goes from like literally the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
And shout out to James, Coach Tallman, Deshaun. Like y'all did a great job considering everything. Like the TBT is a different beast.
Sure.
We came together for 2 to 3 weeks. It's not like we had a whole season to try to do this, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So because James was taking it real hard on himself after the game, you know. I just had to come over and say, you did the best you could do. You're not gonna always make the right decisions as a coach, as a player. We all had stuff that we regret that, you know, we would have won it back to try to win the game. So it was a whole team thing. We won as a team, we lost as a team, and that's what it comes down to.
And to
really.
piggyback off you, Kev, also, you guys did a freaking great job in general, man. It's not easy being out of character for everybody's team. Like, everybody's a professional. Everybody goes somewhere and plays. Mm-hmm. And for the guys that, you know, as a whole, it was awesome just having to get the opportunity to work with you guys. And the TBT, like, shout out to the TBT for once again, a little bit of complaining on my part. It is what it is, but it still was like a great tournament for the summer. And they showed nothing but love around us for the most part. And things were done things are done the best that they could possibly do in a good manner. There's no bad blood. I would say from our team to TBT. Like TBT was great. So shout out to them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of shout outs, there's a whole list of people that we need to thank. Greg Richardson, who's the assistant GM.
Oh yeah, Greg. Sure.
Jason Coleman, the trainer. Kayla and Teresa from Total Stretch and Wellness.
Facts.
Of course, Ethan Bach, our wonderful intern, for doing
Ethan.
such great work during the tournament and covering the team.
Facts.
So, and Garrett Urisco, which was the photographer and video editor, the alumni band for WVU, and of course the Mountaineer Colson Glover Maniacs, current West Virginia team, all those people. So yeah,
Appreciate all y'all.
I should thank all of them.
Yeah, the current West Virginia team that shit got me hyped.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah, that was dope.
That was dope.
that was dope. But also with our team too,
Yeah,
I don't
man.
even know how to say this, but I don't know another way to say it. Like
Say it, bro.
excuse my
Let it
language,
go.
but it was a lot of like dick riding on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, really?
how else do you say that though?
There's
It's
no
just
other
like
way.
I haven't found
it's
a word.
it's bring your game, not your name. You feel me? It's like we don't care about what you did before this. Like we don't care about your resume or X, Y, Z in the third. Like if you shouldn't be in the game, then you shouldn't be in the game. Don't be in the game. You feel me? Like it was just too much. Like some people should have been playing, but they weren't because others have the name of being overseas for so long, and I guess it's a respect thing, but at the same time, like, yo, if you shouldn't be in the game,
that doesn't
then you
matter.
shouldn't- Yeah,
Yeah.
we're playing for $1 million. Like,
Yeah. Check your fucking ego at the door.
That's the main thing. I feel like checking your
Yeah,
ego at the
it's
door is
whoever's
important.
getting a job
Exactly.
done.
You
at
could be
that
the best
time.
player ever.
Exactly. But if you're not getting a
Exactly.
job done at that time, then
No, it's
you gotta
true.
go with somebody
But
else.
I feel
who
like
is.
if I had to
Yeah.
make one knock, I would just say as a whole, as a group. And me and John talked about this shit when we were driving up. It's just that if everybody literally just checked their ego at the door and just came into it with remembering that we're here for this cause, like the one goal, everything would be fine. So we just got to remember that for the next year, and especially if everybody's involved. Like, man, we all know everybody's a professional overseas, and we all know everybody, or had an opportunity to play in the NBA or whatever the case may be. Like, everybody's good. Otherwise, nobody would ask you to play. So that's not the
Right.
case. But
I mean,
check the ego at the door, because
if we
Yep.
that's a distraction. At least it's a distraction, and it can corrupt the rest of the fucking team.
if Dave would have let us have the cameras, yo, this would have been probably one of the best docuseries ever. If Dave didn't ruin that,
That would've been bad.
then it would have been one of the best docuseries ever created. That's all I could say about that.
No, that would have been.
It was,
Bruh.
we literally went through everything. It
No one
really
would've
was,
turned off
bro.
on
It
that.
was a
by the way.
reality show, bro.
From
It was a reality show. I swear.
Sags
Everything.
leaving to the next game when people had attitudes, literally about to fight in the locker
Let's
room.
not even forget Jay Sean just disappearing. That was the spark to the fire.
Yeah, let's just, that was.
Said he was gonna be there on
Wait, what
Wednesday.
happened? Back this train up. Like,
He's like, yeah, I'll be
fill
there on
everybody
Wednesday.
in
So
who
remember
doesn't know.
last time in the show, Ash, we talked about Jay Sean just like getting booted from the group chat. He disappeared and went to play in Puerto Rico and didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
He was like, I'll be there
yeah,
on
I
Wednesday.
forgot about that.
And we didn't see him after that. Like, he wasn't there on Wednesday. So.
That
Still love
was
Jay
a-
Sean, so it don't
it
matter.
was about to be a
Yeah.
full-blown fight in the locker room. I wish I could have got that on camera. But that's how it is. It's like no hard feelings though. It's just like brothers just going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like every family does. Like it was kind of like that. Like as you fight with your sister sometimes, something like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
From that to other egos on the team, to the outsider with Jamel Morris being on the team. It was a lot of storylines that Dave just ruined by not allowing the camera crew to come.
And that's one more thing too, is if we're gonna do this again, we gotta have
Yes.
everybody be committed. Like, we can't have this where people are not showing up, people saying they're
Bruh,
coming, not coming. Like, that's too much. We already have enough to worry
But
about.
Exactly.
Then
That's kind of how it is. I'm glad James
There's a
came
lot
and
of
like
bullshit going on.
set that standard though. But that's kind of how it is. Like I went into it like that's kind of how it is in the summertime. Like I definitely understand, especially after the season that I just had overseas.
That's
I
true,
definitely
too.
understand people got to get shit done, and this is other people's off season, but
That's true.
I'm glad Coach Long set that standard. It was more business this time than, you know what I'm saying, fun.
Yeah. It was. It was. But I think you talked about it too, is like I feel the first year we played, it was a lot more fun than business. This year was more business and fun, and we got to have a happy medium somewhere. We got to meet in the middle somewhere. We can't just have the extreme of both.
I know how to get
everything.
to the happy medium.
So I mean,
addition
I don't like your
addition by subtraction. I
don't know what they are, but
I know exactly what needs to happen.
John's like, you're out. No questions asked. Done. Cut.
John keeps talking about.
I was going to ask you, John, because you said last time if you
seen him play,
if you guys won the TBT, that you were going to consider retiring. How do you feel now?
No, I was already win or loss. I was considering retiring, but
okay.
I mean, I just need some time to just like relax, basically. But got my real estate exam next Wednesday. We'll see what happens with that.
Nice,
but
and then you go from there.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if you do decide to retire, would you still play in the TBT though?
I mean, you can. You got guys like Elmore running up and down the court. Yo, that's crazy. He was getting buckets too. Like he looks ridiculous. He has no business on
buckets.
Yeah. I wish we could have played them, bro. They lost the second game.
Hey.
Second. Mm-hmm.
I wish we could have played them, bro. We would have ate our ass up. Our guards. There's no way he could have lasted in the game, bro. There's no way.
I was really hoping that was what was going to happen. I was hoping they were going to beat Team 23 and then meet you guys.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
And Team 23 is good, but they're not that good. They're not a good team. They have a bunch of good players, but they're not a good team. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But shout out to them.
Yeah. I didn't know that one guy that was hitting all those shots was the 7th all-time leader scorer in TBT history. Nobody mentioned that. Nobody mentioned that during the scout. Hall, his last name is Hall. The dude that was hitting the side step.
He looked familiar. Like I was.
Nobody mentioned that in the scout.
And I seen him before. Like he looked mad. He looked mad familiar. It was a lot of that happening. Like I just running into people just in the basketball world, and I'm like, who is this? Like I don't remember who this is. But it was a lot of that going on. But yeah, he looked mad familiar. Did we underestimate?
Probably played against him one time. No, we didn't. We didn't underestimate them. I think we were up by 8 with like 6 minutes to go. Well, 2 minutes into the Elam in there, we were up. They made timely shots. You got to tip your hats off to them. They made shots when it mattered, and we didn't. Like that's really what it comes down to.
I wasn't playing that next game anyway. He did you see him? He had the foul to get out of the game. His back locked up. He couldn't even play. He threw his back out. Did you remember you saw him in the second game? He had that blue turtleneck on. He was done. He was done in the first half. He came out with a blue turtleneck on. I was like, damn. Yeah, I know.
Blue
terrible.
Yeah, he got hurt in the first half and came back out in street clothes. But
oh my gosh.
It's not funny, but it is kind of.
Yeah, he did win. He did win the 3-point shootout for West Virginia, one of the two that's going to Dayton. Is he still doing that? Do we know?
No.
Who, I or John?
John.
I thought John was in it.
I thought John Elmore beat Chase by 2.
Yeah. I thought that was John that beat Chase.
Oh wow.
No, it was Ott.
Elmore. Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. John.
No,
Elmore.
it was Ott Elmore.
Must have got lost in the mail.
John Flowers beat Chase before the 3-point contest. We definitely had to practice runs.
Oh wow! So you got. Yeah.
I
don't think you were the right representative for our team.
Who? I beat Chase.
The powers that be didn't think you were the right representative, John.
I really should have been putting out there. That's interesting, yo. It's just like, yo, people still think I play like how I played in college, bro. It's very disrespectful.
I
I mean,
hate to see it happen, man.
I don't know how many tweets I got that's like, oh, John, you shooting the ball now. No shit.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
They would have been driving right by me, too. Don't you worry.
I blame Deshaun for losing.
They'd have been like, get me in the game and get it
So all I
so
ever
out.
wanted was us
Exactly.
three, maybe Chuck. Casey wrote me, said he's playing. If I Elmore could play in this game,
Hey, are we gonna go a little bit outside of the program now, since we already experimented with it and it went well?
I
Good question. Deshaun looks like he's got some plans.
Recruits I love to add to the West Virginia guys.
but you know,
I say do it, dude. This is about winning. I think as long as like the team is the core, then why not?
Man,
if you want to have like a couple guys out.
The dude from the other team who we just finished playing, he was born in Morgantown, West Virginia. He's like the.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, the guy putting away. He was born in Morgantown, West Virginia. His dad, I think, ran track for WU or something like that.
Oh, word?
There's a lot of people that have, like I told you guys before, Justin Burrell's from Morgantown, Perrier Henry's from Charleston. Like, there's a lot of people that can like hoop that also stay out of their own way. So like,
Right.
Yeah.
listen,
I know we're
you know
doing
my
now.
vote on this. I'm all about WU alumni. I don't give a damn
Alumni.
about
So yeah, I
which
said I get it too. I know what we're doing. I won't complain about it. I'm just letting you know if that switch ever got flipped. We all know people.
we haven't lost because of who's on our team, bro. Like we always been in a position to still win. Like we know we're supposed to win that game with all WVU guys. With the team that we just had.
Yeah, no, it wasn't about like not saying our team isn't good enough. It was just about since we did put some. I mean, and I can't really count Jamel as outside the family because it's not like he hasn't been around. He went to school right up the road, so it's not like he's somebody we didn't know. But since it worked, you never know.
And
Might have to
coached by
explore
Joe
that option.
Mazzulla, right?
What?
Yeah,
He was coached by Joe
he
Mazzulla.
was coached
He
by
was coached by Joe and Rob.
Listen, I wasn't even paying attention to what you were saying. I just knew it was some bullshit.
Wow.
You know what?
I'm
done
big.
talking.
All I know
Well,
is
there's some wiggle room. There's some wiggle room in the team name too. Like it's either Best Virginia as WVU or the Best of West Virginia. So it's however you guys want to
I
go.
feel like West Virginia is perfect for all of West Virginia. Just call it a day. I'm done talking now.
Can we just?
what do you think the fans
There you
would
go.
say though? Like, you think the fans would be okay with, like, you think they would want to come see people for that didn't play for WVU? You know what I'm saying?
But here's
Like,
the thing, though. Some of these people are
I think if they're
the
from
state.
West Virginia.
They're from the state, so like even though they didn't go to our school, there's people that live in Charleston that go to WVU, but they know people that go to other schools that are from Charleston. Like they grew up with these people. You think they wouldn't have a certain affinity for these individuals that play if they played on West Virginia? Just because they went to another school? I don't think so.
I don't.
Let's put it out there.
I mean, someone wrote me. I could read you a.
They sent you an email or text. How'd they get your number? We said someone. Who is this?
There was one person that messaged us that was like, I immediately lose interest if this stops being an alumni team. Well, I'm sorry, we're not a traveling circus just for you, buddy. Like, there's a prize at the end of this. And
That's the main thing. It's
if
just
that's what, like, we can bring the event here, we can be the alumni team, whatever, but, you know, we're not doing it just for the people at home. There's also a selfish self-interest, too. Like, the byproduct is West Virginia gets a great event in the backyard, wonderful summer event. They get to see some of the players they've known. Like, at some point, they're going to be heartbroken to know that you guys just won't play anymore, like they are with Deshaun. Like, every 5 minutes, I'm like, why isn't Deshaun playing? I'm like, because he's old and dumb. I don't know. Leave me alone.
Wow, dumb.
I second the fact that you need to get fired now.
But I understand. I understand though his point though. Like I could see if we was going out there getting our ass beat every single year, but we're actually have good teams that can compete with what we have. You know what I'm saying? Sags fucked us. Like he just.
But that's what I'm saying though. When you have scenarios, and I'm not gonna shit on Sags.
That's the first
we have
scenario.
scenarios. When we have scenarios where people alter how our shit's going, and they are from our scenario, then what? Like
that's the first time that happened. Though.
No, it's not.
Dev Williams didn't do that.
Was he planning on playing with us the year before last? They weren't mad about that.
I think he was for like a week and then just switched to the money team.
Yeah, he was going to play with another team, and then obviously we got Tariq this time, but like Tariq was going to play and then Tariq couldn't play the first time.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then some of the stuff that happened.
He told us that, and then we were able to adjust. Like if Saz would have told us before this whole thing happened, we could have got another big man from anywhere. We could have got Tanner or whoever, some other big man. We could have did that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we had another big man. We had Logan on the bench the whole game. Put him in, coach.
Like I said, I bring information from one place. Somebody else brings information from another place. We all give it to the same hub. This is the way it flows, bro. I'm not the head coach. All I can say is that my guy James really put in a thought process for what he did or why he did what he did, bro. There was no like callous thinking behind what he did. Yeah, literally.
I agree.
And he kept himself up at night thinking about what y'all were thinking. So
try to win. But
to stress levels where I was just like, I really don't care what this motherfucker thinks. Like,
yeah.
That's how you gotta be though as a coach, bro. You can't be thinking about what the fuck other people are thinking. Like this is your squad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like run the team how you want to run the team.
And that's what I'm saying. And we had a scenario now where James he benched you for some reason, and now you're over here killing him. And now you're killing him. Did I agree that she should have been on the bench? No, but at the same time,
What does that mean? I didn't say a word to James. Did I go up to James?
I'm not talking about right now. I'm not talking about in the game. No,
exactly.
You're a professional. That's why you're a professional. Exactly. So you know how to carry yourself. You're not going to sit there and start hooking off because James didn't play you.
For the sake of the podcast, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like that's how I felt. But I didn't go to James and say, "Yo, you should have did this. You should have did that." Nah,
no, of course not.
I respect
You're a professional.
his opinion about how he feels like shit should be going. I definitely respect it. But as a coach,
he definitely stood by his shit though. He stood by it. I kind of felt.
Yeah, just like you shouldn't. Nah, he didn't start. He said he should have stood by that shit. He should. He said I made some mistakes on subs and da da da. Nah,
that's what you have to say in the press conference. What are you supposed to say in the press conference? Like he's talking to
he said
the media in the press conference.
You weren't in the locker room.
He did say it in the locker room.
Yeah, okay, all right, cool.
No, but so,
right. Like, yeah,
but so, if you felt like I made a mistake in a game, you can say that to the people that you're trying to win $1 million with.
I guess.
Right, Violet? I'm glad she agrees.
She licked the microphone.
I mean, like I said, like I respect James's, you know what I'm saying, his decisions on what he does as a coach. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
But at the same time, like we said, he said he made a mistake. Just because you make a decision for yourself that you feel is the right one doesn't mean you didn't make a mistake. Just like he might have felt like at the times, like John, whatever, for whatever reason, that you didn't need to be on the court, but that doesn't mean that was the right decision.
I'd rather be around
like it was a mistake,
admit your mistake, as opposed to just lie to you consistently and go, exactly. I did the right thing. I don't care. It's like, bro, you're not living in reality here.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? And hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
So of course we could go back and say that wasn't the right decision because we lost. So that's easy. It's easy for us to say now.
Yeah, I wasn't even
man, don't listen to shit. I'm done talking to him. He don't care.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No use crying over spilled milk. You know what I'm saying? But I was sick for like the last. Still I'm sick.
Yeah, Sam. That should be the name of this episode.
I'm sick.
No, spilled milk.
Spilled milk.
Or
That's
not
a
no
good
crying
one.
over spilled milk. That'd be a nice name.
Spilled milk.
Yeah.
This is the Final Fourcast podcast.
So, Where's Waldo 304? Y'all were great. Can Dax play with y'all?
That was one of my picks.
John.
Why is it just that is crazy, bro. Nah, y'all want Jamel Morris, so we'll go with Jamel Morris.
Gotcha.
KJ.
Jamel did a great job, by the way.
He definitely carried us a little bit.
My recruit.
Ty Kane, he says, we going to be in the TBT again next year, and will it be held in Charleston?
What was his name? Ty Crane?
Ty Kane.
Ty Kane. I was
Kane,
gonna say, I was like,
C-A-I-N.
what?
Kane.
Inside joke for Kevin. Ty Crane.
More than likely. More than likely, yes. It's up to Dave, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Dave's going to help us again. It's all on Dave. We don't know.
Don't put this shit on me.
Josiah Caldwell, how do you think we can improve on shooting for next year? He said you should let me play laugh out loud.
Did we shoot bad?
I love how everybody. I love how people are like that when they're like, you know, oh man, he's missing buckets. But like, you get out there, motherfucker. Let's see what you can do. Let's keep it real. Like, you know what I mean? I hate when fans do that shit.
I mean, if Elmo can get out, that's what we should make a tournament where we play against the fans and just whoop their fucking ass.
That'd be
Yes!
awesome. Get the fans to put their best 10 together.
That was like a side
I'm
note,
playing
real
that
quick.
motherfucking
When
game,
we were in Wheeling and Deshaun and I were sitting at the bar together, chit chatting or whatever, and this dude on the other side looks at Deshaun. How tall are you? And he goes, I don't know, like 6'7", 6'8", you know, whatever. And this guy goes, bullshit. I'm almost 6'3".
Wow.
And then he's like, stand up. And like, literally, Deshaun's at least 6 inches. Probably more like 7 inches taller than
He
this
sized
dude.
you up there? And
He did.
You stood up?
Oh, of course. You think I'm gonna miss
It was
the-
wild.
Miss the opportunity to stand up? No. No problem.
And then like I look at Deshaun, I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, it happens all the time. Like, it's just crazy how people, like, what is wrong with you?
That'd be the worst. Like,
Bullshit.
I used to...
Yeah. What?
I used
If I was
so
if I only had like one, I wouldn't have stood up. But I was about like 6 beers in, so I was like, let me humor this clown.
Right? Exactly.
Nice guy, actually. He wasn't really too much of a clown.
Yeah, they were saying that, like, was it the same guy saying, like, he wanted to play, like, get your
It was the same
five?
dude. I hung out with those dudes the rest of the night. They were loud as shit, though.
Yes, they were.
They're banned from a couple of bars out there. From what
I wouldn't be
was told.
surprised. I wouldn't be
He
surprised.
kept on telling me, he was like, just tell my brother shut the fuck up. Just
Well,
tell
literally,
him
that's what he
shut
told me
up.
to tell. That's what he
I'm
told me to tell
like,
him.
bro, I'm not gonna, I don't know y'all. Like, I'm not about to
Exactly.
say that
I
to
told him.
somebody. Like, I don't know
I told him
y'all.
immediately.
Told him, how much money y'all got? We'll play y'all for some money. If you ain't got no money, shut the fuck up.
$1 million bet. I'll take it.
There it is. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, someone actually, what is this? Yenny Yen Yen?
Oh.
Why wasn't Johnny Flo in? Sad face. They were really upset that you weren't in there at the end, John.
I think the whole state was.
So I see.
I kind of feel like that was a planted tweet there.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to,
Yeah.
That's John's very good friend, Ash.
shout out to,
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Yin Yin.
Good
Little
guy.
man.
By the way, he also said, y'all are a great team full of love, but don't always show love on the court.
He said that?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm
I don't know.
Can't
just
read into
saying
the
what he said.
tweets, man. There's only a certain amount of characters you get.
Maybe not. Maybe it's like you're not like spreading the love during the game where you're being a hog or doing
So
bad
love to
things.
each other or the other
Who
team?
knows? That's why I said it's only a tweet. We don't know.
That second game was crazy. I want to know how that shit looked on the bench. Like, our bench looked crazy the second game.
Oh, yo, speaking of that, somebody showed me a picture and circled, like, we were all in a huddle and Sponge was sitting down on the bench.
Shut up.
No.
I swear to you, like, last night, it was on, like, social media and they circled
Like that.
Sponge sitting down while we all in a huddle. Literally everybody's all in the huddle.
You have that
sitting
picture?
down
Why
on the
didn't you
bench.
get? You
I
should've
don't
said-
have it. I should have, bro. Like, it just looked like that. Just looked so bad. Like,
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then we said
It was-
something to him,
it was-
and
yeah.
he act like he don't know
And
what
we-
we talking about. Like,
That's what you got. Sometimes you gotta show people, man.
But
Like
that
was
that's
bad.
why
So
Jawan is a good leader though. Like he got into spun shit about that, checked him on that shit, and the next game Sponge was amazing. Like it was just
he
it was night and day, bro. And that's what we need though.
Wow.
We need shit like that.
For sure.
Dang.
Our A Reeves WVU 32 need to mic up Tavon and play the highlights on the
That's a
podcast.
fact. We definitely should have did that.
Same person also said that Fairmont State guy can ball, which I would agree with that.
Yeah, he can. Y'all really want to break up this WVU alumni thing, huh?
It's one player. It's one person.
So what's the cap? What's the limit? Because eventually there's going to be 5 guys out there that didn't go to WVU. This is how it starts. It starts with one bad apple and Jamel Morris, and then it's all of the whole starting 5 out there. No one knows.
He might have been a dick behind the scenes that I don't know, but I think Jamel was a great fit personally, like throughout the rest of the event.
Definitely.
And couldn't have been more helpful getting him registered behind the scenes very quickly.
He was he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Facts.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yep.
on our team was a dick to him, but I won't get into that. If you would have had the cameras,
Were they? I didn't see nobody. I didn't see nobody act.
somebody
Maybe you know someone I don't know.
pushed him and said, "Hey, chill the fuck out, bro."
That was
There
me.
you know what
I'm
he's
sorry.
talking about.
Somebody that don't need to be back here.
No.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, like
I feel
Jamel is the
like-
nicest person in the world, bro. Like,
Exactly.
The
So for
world.
somebody to do
I'm
that,
glad to hear that.
for somebody to do that, they're obviously emotionally unsound, which is one of my biggest knocks on emotionally unsound people. When things don't go their way, acting like kids.
Yep.
It's real life. So people just need to grow up.
True.
Amen.
True. All right. Didn't know that.
Said it to them before, now say it again. Sometimes you just need to grow up, man.
Jay Strubble 26. Why wasn't Ebanks on the team?
Would have been next week.
because he wasn't. Well,
Because he wasn't. That's it.
Ebanks has stipulations and stuff that he needs to work out. He was going to come to Dayton. He was going to be on the team for Dayton. Apparently, everyone was cool with that, I guess.
Oh, really?
I'm
He
not
was
cool
in
with that shit.
Jamaica for his birthday, for his daughter's birthday.
So he couldn't have made
I
it
wasn't.
this week.
I wasn't cool with that shit, but apparently everybody else cool with it. Winning the first 3
It's about the
games
money.
and then bringing on Ebanks to
Hannah.
just wrap things up.
Hannah.
KJ's cool with it.
You think he would have helped us?
Yeah, I mean offensively.
I think that third game.
Yo, you get Ebanks the ball in Elam, he's scoring every time. But also though, they wasn't calling fouls like that either. So you know how he was. You know how he be drawing fouls and shit.
True.
But I don't know. There's something there.
Yeah.
Been drawing fouls for 10 years. Ain't nothing changed.
But that's the thing with Ebanks though. You don't have to like draw up a play for him to get a bucket in Elam. Just give him the ball. Get the fuck out the way.
There we go. Maybe we can talk him into it next year.
I'm not talking nobody into nothing. How about that?
There it
Let's
is.
see.
And this is where the
I'm
non-alumni
not doing
team
that
starts.
again, bro. Because that's the problem though. Like we ask people to play, basically beg people to play, and then they act entitled, like everything has to be their way, and then then you end up dick riding and catering to those people.
Exactly. This, you know what? We've come full circle at this time. Check your fucking ego at the door. That's
Basically
it.
what it is.
You're in or you're out.
Yeah.
And when you're in, then everybody's equal. You know what I'm saying? And like John said earlier, whoever's getting shots, whoever's playing better should be out there, regardless of what your name is or what you've done in the past.
Shout out to
Your
Tavon.
game.
He had a great game the last game. Tavon Mize.
Nice.
The thing that I don't get
Yeah,
about
it's
the
wrong.
whole ego thing is that nothing in TBT is guaranteed. Like,
Right.
there's no mistakes, there's no do-overs. You're basically playing for nothing unless you win the million. So, like, who gives a shit who
That's
gives
a
a shit
fact.
who you are or what you
That's what I'm
do?
confused about.
As long as you contribute to the larger
That's what I'm
goal.
confused about that
Right.
whole scenario, because it's not. If it was a season, I'd get people getting upset from time to time at what happens in a season. This is we're gonna be together for 3 weeks to figure this thing out. Shut up. Like, yo, shut up. I played like almost every role I could play as a professional. Like at one point I was like getting the ball. At one point I was coming off the bench. At one point I was just as a reserve. Like shut up and just accept. Because if you did this when you was overseas, you wouldn't be there ever. You would never have a job. So why do it here with us?
That's what I'm saying. Some people don't know what it's like to be a professional, like a real professional.
A real
like
professional.
It shows too, though, because they're always jumping around from job to job each year and doing this and the third. So.
Professionalism is key, bro. Especially when you're playing our team next year.
Jill Jones Kirk. It was awesome, and John and Nate need more minutes.
Nate played. Nate played great.
What Nate played? He did. I saw a few of his finishing
you watched that game?
highlights. I saw highlights.
She saw
so.
a few of. She saw a few of his finishing shots, huh?
Did you see, Ash? Did you see the highlight of me slipping down on national television, and they called it the smooth move of the game? That was fun.
Dave is a clout chaser.
I did not see that.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
Leah Alma 27. It was so good to see J Flo and KJ together again.
Facts.
Which I thought was nice.
We gotta get this J Flo and KJ experience that we
get the cameras
talking about a few years ago.
Just
cameras.
Me and you. We ain't gotta worry about all these other slaps.
Get the camera. You guys are going to Scottsdale next week, right? Get the cameras together.
Yeah.
Bring them out there. Get Dave.
You want to go?
Round
Dave?
of applause for John.
I gotta go to work.
And I'll be out there too. I'll be in Vegas just to watch your coaching debut. Is that? Can we announce that?
I won't say that. But I will.
Wait, what? What happened?
What's going on there?
What's going on?
Yeah, what?
Coaching debut.
Don't know what John's
You want to break the news on the show?
Sean doesn't know what's going on. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, what?
I don't know.
I missed something.
Don't know what they're talking about. I ain't coaching shit.
But anyway, shout out to WVU alumni looking out for each other.
Always.
Brothers watching brothers.
Rednicott, bring this show to Morgantown next year and hope there are more promotion of the event.
Dave.
Which I agree. Honestly, I mean, had we not been on a podcast together, I probably wouldn't even known. I'm keeping it real. Like, I wouldn't have known that TBT was happening in Charleston and what was, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's me. That goes back to like just the school not being involved. It's not really the TBT's fault. It's the W. Why wouldn't? Why wouldn't the school like hype us up like our alumni?
State does a really good job of that.
I thought this was such a beautiful thing. Vicky Petrie says, I went to all the games, had my picture taken with a lot of the players, and talked with them. It was the best 4 days I've had in a long time. The players would take the time for fans, and I love that about them. I sure hope they come back next year, but my party of 3 have already planned to go wherever they are. That's how much we enjoyed watching the games. I love Best Virginia.
Thank you.
That's what we do it for.
Right?
Fact.
So, and let's see. Last one. Pat Gilbert said, loved Best Virginia. So much fun to watch. And then Steve Dew commented on that saying, same. Defensive rotations were top shelf. Great basketball all around.
They was. Our defense was tough, bro.
It was.
Defense was tough. Just because we all on the same page about like flying around, like little things.
Yeah.
And Alex Roy, he played some really good defense. Like he was good in that, just being on the same page, his IQ about defense, stuff like that. He was good.
Yeah.
At some points. Not in the Elam, but
Yeah.
shout
Well,
out
the good news is, I mean, this is the second time you guys played?
Yeah.
Because of last year we didn't make it, obviously. But I feel like the good news is I think every year you guys are learning more, right? About how to build a better team or how to approach the TBT because it's a little bit of a different animal. So, I mean, we have great alumni players. So there's no doubt in my mind, as long as people can check their egos at the door, you guys can pull it off. Like there's
question.
I mean, I thought you could do it this year.
Our
but,
first team was better than this team. Why?
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Who said that, Dave?
Yeah, I was not to
Fuck,
say.
Dave doesn't know shit about basketball. Talking about
You don't think so?
shut
No,
up.
I don't think so. But we're deeper. It also, I mean, geez, it gave those individuals who were there with us last time to like grow as players. So I mean, I won't say that we were better the last time we played in it this year. Like, nah.
That's true. Yeah.
And we went further. It just shows. I mean, obviously we're playing a different team and shit like that, but I just kind of felt like everything we did off the court and on the court from top to bottom was a little bit more prepared as opposed to the first time we
I
went
agree with that.
into the scenario.
Definitely way more prepared. Definitely way more prepared. For sure. Overall, nah. This year's team was better than the first year's team.
I just wanted to know if y'all thought.
Because we had Tariq and
What did you think? Because you didn't answer the question.
No, I was gonna say, this year's team was better. I felt like the first year we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into, so we were a bit more loose. If I could say, we were less tense because I felt like every game was so tense this year, just between everybody, just because there was higher expectations of the team because we did do well last time, and then also it being in Charleston, it was higher expectations. So it was more of a tense situation where before we were just going out and playing. Felt like we did a lot more thinking than playing this time. And like I said earlier, we just need that balance of both. Now, can't have one extreme or the other.
Agreed.
So, like you said, Ash, we still learning each year, and I think next year's team will be even better.
That was a great point, Kidra.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Hater.
Nah, you didn't think about it.
Yeah,
John's
in a
just
different
bitter
bag
Betty
right now.
today.
There's
Yeah.
spilling milk over there.
Want some cookies?
Whatever.
No milk.
But what are y'all doing?
All right, I
with
think
the
we
rest,
can wrap
What
this
are y'all doing with the rest of y'all summer though? It's over. I feel like a sigh of relief. Like I get to like finally like chill.
Bro, I'm not gonna
John
hold
can
you.
relax.
That might have been the most stressful 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks that I've ever been a part of.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't have felt like
wasn't-
that, bro.
And that's what I said. That's why I agree with Kevin to that point. Like the first time we played, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And then this time we went to the very extreme of like trying to like make sure everything is right so that we can go out there and enjoy the basketball part of it. And it was just like draining. Like
Yeah.
it was like mentally exhausting dealing with every person's split personality. So it was just like, then you add the basketball on top of that. Like it was just a lot. So
Yeah.
definitely want to do a better job in the future of trying to bridge that gap between the two. We're not just overdoing one or the other. We can't be out here freely just all caution to the wind, but we also can't just be over here analyzing every step of what could be.
Right. Right.
Agreed.
And that's what you call an
also, we had-
back point.
Right.
We also had one more shout out to make. Bud, the WVU team manager that
Oh,
worked
yeah,
for
shout
TBT,
out, Bud.
was helping you
Man.
guys.
Good dude.
Shout out to Bud, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Bud. Hilarious guy. He's hilarious.
So as we wrap up, I'd just like to say it was an experience working behind the scenes with TBT. They were really happy with the event. I think work has already started on coming back next year. I don't think that's much of a surprise. I've just heard whispers of that from the right people. I do want to give a huge shout out to the alumni band that traveled. Apparently John was the impetus for that even starting as a thing. So that's another feather in John's cap for the alumni experience, that he asked for an alumni band to perform at one of our alumni games. They decided, hey, let's form a band and travel. They came down on their own volition. They drove down. They drove back. Assembled a whole bunch of people with their own instruments and performed. That changed the game, I think, a lot. to hear our own themes in the background as you guys are giving it all, and then also the Mountaineer fans that turned out and literally just shouted their fucking hearts out during the games. I think that really gave a lot of people chills. We mentioned him already, but Colson Glover, the Mountaineer, who, they don't drive him down. He has to drive himself down. Thankfully, they give him a stipend now for gas and food and stuff, and actually gave him a hotel for the last game. He was able to come with us and have a lot of fun. But I think just bringing that WVU experience to Charleston shows why we desperately need it in Morgantown more than ever. So TBT, if you're listening, definitely let's see what we can do in Morgantown, because I think as much as John is tired now, I think this is what drives him to do all the crap he does throughout the summer. So let's make it happen.
I just think if it was in Morgantown, the turnout, you know what I mean? The turnout that it would have, it would just be insane.
Not without the school helping a little bit. Do something.
100%.
But yeah, that's a good point, Dave. I wonder if our alumni band has egos in the band.
I'm sure they do. Who plays the clarinet better?
Oh, yeah, they asked for 2 signed balls for their trouble. Check that shit at the door. We're selling those
I'm
online.
worried about the air conditioning there. They should just get some fans. Small, little portable fans. Won't cost much. It gets hot. Just put the fans right there.
But what are y'all doing with the rest of y'all summer, though? Y'all didn't answer my question.
Chilling, bro.
I'm going to WWE Superstar tonight right now, actually. So,
Really?
yep, taking the kids.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yep, for me, I'm going to have a blast. This isn't about them. It's more of a me thing.
KJ, you talking to any teams for next year?
Nothing yet, man. Nothing in the works. You know how I operate already.
Yeah, true.
I probably won't sign until October.
Last second.
Smart man.
That's really my plan, kind of. Just wait it out, yeah.
You just got back home though, so it's different for you.
Bro, I'm sick of basketball right now. At the same time, I feel like I gotta go work out like right now. I don't know. It's weird.
Thanks for listening to the show. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Final Fourcast, or call us at 304-807-9098.
Escalated.
And this has been another episode of the Final Fourcast.
I'm done.
With me, one of your hosts, Jay Flo. You know what it is. Got my guy KJ with me. My guy Deshaun Butler with me.
Appreciate y'all.
A lovely co-host Ash.
That's me.
And
David,
That was fucking hilarious.
he's so long.
it's only right to piss off Dave.